It's time for another dinosaur update. Here's field reporter Eric Boardman.
In case you hadn't heard, our shows are out now on DVD and they're available for purchase. They're really special then and even more special now because the cover art was done by the amazing William Stout, who just happens to be here. Bill, I love what you do with dinosaurs.
Oh, thanks. I love doing them.
Yeah. We've got some stuff I want to show.
Oh, sure.
The Spinosaurus. Now, this is the first one you did, right?
Right. It was interesting. It was done from very scrappy material that disappeared in World War II. It got bombed.
Oh, really?
And then for a long time, there was no Spinosaurus material until just fairly recently. A complete Spinosaurus was discovered in Egypt, and it completely revamped what we thought Spinosaurus looked like, and we now know.
So we use this on the cover of our box, and now this is Spinosaurus as we know it today?
As we know it today. Had a much longer head, had that big fin on the back, had big, huge, massive claws, extraordinary animal.
Now, we actually cover this story as one of the special features on one of the DVDs, but that's really cool. Now, as good as these are, the iconic one for me,
Good old T-Rex.
oh, this is gorgeous. And in my dreams, this is the T-Rex I see. Yeah.
Well, it's very similar to the first T-Rex I saw, which was the one in King Kong, 1933.
Is that what started you on your
is.
passion for dinosaurs?
I was 3 years old. My parents took me to see my very first movie ever. It was the 1952 re-release of the original King Kong at the Reseda Drive-In Theater, and I think it did damage at a genetic level.
Your first movie was King Kong. Wow, wow. And Kong, of course, fights a T-Rex. But now, what's the story behind this? What year did you do this?
1980, so I do it different today. For one thing, we know that Tyrannosaurus were covered with fine feathers. And
Yes.
this doesn't show the tail, but on the end of the tail it had a plume. Also, I wouldn't make them so upright. They're more of a horizontal posture. This is the old, what we thought they looked like, sort of standing upright with dragging their tail in the back. And then one other little detail I would change would be these claws. I know that the outer claw was much longer than the inner claw, so I would change that detail there.
Now, is all the foliage accurate, Bill?
Just as I want my dinosaurs to be as accurate as possible, I want the plants to be as accurate as possible as well, so I started studying paleobotany. This is a Dawn redwood. There are three kinds of redwoods that still exist today. Dawn redwoods, and then the big sequoias and the coastal redwoods, which came much later. But back in the Cretaceous, we had these Dawn redwoods, which you can still see today.
And there's somebody else in that photo, in that drawing. Who's that rascal?
Oh, I snuck in a little lizard. This guy, I made him up. I gotta confess.
So that lizard doesn't exist back then?
It may have, but still, this is such a fun picture for me, and I had such a great time doing it.
Are you considering redoing it?
No.
All those lazy artists. Yeah, why tamper with perfection?
I do lots of different T-Rexes. I try not to repeat myself. I don't like to draw the same drawing over and over again, which is why I never got into animation.
So the fun for you is the next project, the new project,
always.
new images.
Always.
Yeah.
I'm always hoping the next one's going to be my next masterpiece.
Well, that's pretty close to a masterpiece.
I love that. That was the original cover I did for my dinosaur book. The Dinosaurs: A Fantastic View of a New Era. But the publisher looked at it and they said, you know, we think the public is tired of Tyrannosaurus Rex.
What year was this?
This is 1979.
The public was tired of T-Rex in '79.
Right. And so give us another dinosaur. So I ended up putting a Parasaurolophus, a kind of duck-billed dinosaur, on the cover instead. I think
A plant eater? Come on.
I know.
You want a raptor?
Yeah, you want a big T-Rex.
Absolutely.
It's everybody's favorite.
That's cool stuff.
This is Gary Osaurus Owens saying thanks for watching.